Hi there and welcome to yet another video. In this episode I'll unbox and review the iFootage SHARK NANO SLIDER. So without further ado, let's get into the video. This is not a sponsored video. iFootage never heard of me. They never sent me this slider. I went out and I bought this with my own money. And because of that, you'll get my honest and unbiased opinion about it. And if you stick around to the end of this video, I will show you a trick that will upgrade this slider to the next level and upgrade your footage as well. If you've been trying to get those smooth, steady B-roll shots, but you're not happy with the result, then just like me, probably you've been using one of these manual sliders, or you've been trying to shoot handheld, which was worse because I've got these like Parkinson hands. So then a great solution for that is to upgrade to the iFootage SHARK NANO SLIDER. But first of all, let's have a look at the unboxing and what we get in the box. I will speed up the unboxing because I'm not really good with unboxing stuff, and I really took my time with this, but I did get the slider about a couple of weeks ago, so I had enough time to test this. And as you can see, iFootage really wasted a lot of polystyrene. So a quick overview of what we get in the box. Obviously the slider, phone holder, which is great. It's a quality one, not a flimsy cheap one. It has this hook here. I don't know what you use this for, and you can see iFootage took a lot of attention to detail. They even put the branding on the screw here. The USB-C cable, warranty and books, and some silicone gel just so you can make some tea for your friends. First impressions when I took it out of the box was, wow, this is built like a tank. It's quite heavy for its size, its form factor being so compact. It's according to iFootage, it's just over 2 kilograms, 2 kilograms 250 with a battery, which is not bad at all. It's made out of metal and a bit of plastic here and there, but it's quality plastic. To power the slider, you can use the USB-C included in the box, the USB-C cable, or you can use Sony NPF batteries. In this case I'm using the NPF 550, but you can use NPF 750 or 970, the bigger one, or you can use both the USB-C cable and the battery connected, so then your battery is actually charging. From left to right, we'll begin with this lock-in knob, which is really handy. So to avoid damaging when in transport, you lock this knob, and this is locked now. It doesn't move. Twist it, it's unlocked. When you first set up the slider, you need to make sure this is in the unlocked position. So in order for the slider to calibrate itself, it needs to be unlocked. Then we've got the sliding rails. The range is only 20 centimeters when it's sitting flat on a desk. That does double in length. That goes 40 centimeters when it's set up on a tripod, because we will get into that a bit later. You can set this on a tripod. The motor head does come with 3x8 and 1/4 inch threads, which is nice. So if you push down, you can actually access the 1/4 inch thread. This rotating wheel, which you need to tighten to make sure that the motor head is not wobbling on the rails. Then on this side we've got this mechanism, this button, which you need to push in order to lock the wheel. So when you mount your camera, it doesn't rotate 360, it keeps going over. If you can't lock it somehow, that's why they included this button here. Also, you've got a spirit level, which is nice. They included the spirit level. And then on this side we have the control unit, which has 2 buttons, the power on and off and play button and function button. You've got a small LCD screen, shows up all the information, and the iFootage logo. Then on this side you've got the USB-C port and the 2.5 millimeters port that you use for the intervalometer cable, which you need to buy separately. Let's have a look under the slider. Again, you've got this plate with the rotating wheel to lock it in place so it doesn't swivel, and you can use the plate because it's got 3x8 and 1/4 inch holes for tripods. And then on this side we got two wheels. I got it on sale. I did pay about 475 pounds for the standard version, so it's not the bundle. That's about $550 US, I think. The bundle version comes with carrying case, the extra shutter release cables, Sony NPF 750 battery, I think. I didn't need any of these. I didn't need the carrying case, just because it does fit. Because it's so compact, it does fit in my backpack, just like this. So we've got a regular size backpack, and I've made this compartment just for the slider. Here you go. The slider fits nice and snug in here. If you do need the carrying case, then it's a good value. Or the batteries and the cables, the bundle, it's a good value as well. The slider supports up to 3.5 kilograms when sitting flat, 2.5 kilograms when mounted on a tripod, or up to 2 kilograms when mounted vertically on a tripod. I forgot to mention, I'm sorry, there is a 3x8 thread on this side, so you can mount the slider vertically. So let's power this bad boy up, and we hold the power button, and then you see the iFootage logo here. Moves a bit. After the last upgrade, it doesn't take as long to calibrate, only a few seconds really. When you first powered the slider, you might have to upgrade to the latest firmware. Calibration completed, it says. So that finished calibrating. So let's mount our ball head on, ball head of choice. In this case I'm using this cheap small rig one. So twist nice and tight. For the purpose of this video, I'll use my A7 III camera with a full cage on and the 55mm 1.8 lens, Arca Swiss plate on the bottom. So that rounds up to about 1.4 kilograms, which is way under the payload the iFootage claims. So now on the screen here it says, please ensure camera attached at the right angles to the slider as below. So it has to point forward at a straight 90-degree angle with the slider, which it is, and then we just press confirm, and that's it. We get into the home screen. We have quick start, time lapse, stop motion, and settings. So now that the slider is on and calibrated, everything is set up, the camera is mounted and it's on, it's positioned vertically to the slider. All that's left to do is to turn IBIS off on the camera and on the lens if the lens has one. Otherwise you'll get some shaky footage because the IBIS will interfere with the slider's movement. So just make sure you turn IBIS off. And then we've got two options. We either use the physical buttons on the main unit, these two right here, or we can connect to the slider with iFootage Moco app, which I found to work great, but I do prefer the physical buttons. So I'll demonstrate that first. And we just press the two buttons simultaneously, get into quick mode, like so, and point A and point B will start flashing. That's when we position the camera to point A. We want the movement to start like this. Just make sure it's in focus. Okay, and then we press the function button to save point A. Then just like that we slide the camera to point B, and then we press function again to save point B, and then we've got on the screen, we've got the option to set the time for the whole movement. I'll leave it to 20 seconds. Confirm. We'll put it in standby mode. And then on the screen here we have another two options to swap position A with B if we want the movement to start from point B, and to create a loop which will make the movement going from A to B and back and forth indefinitely. We'll leave it as it is, so we just press record on the camera and then start. And the camera, as you can see, the slider started to make the movement. It only takes 20 seconds. As for noise, there's no noise really. I mean, it's really quiet. It feels like, say, running water in the distance. You can hardly hear it. So that was it. Press stop, and then standby will bring the slider into initial position. Right, so here we go. iFootage for Moco app. It gives you the options to use camera or use a smartphone. I'm gonna select use camera. As soon as we press OK, it turns into landscape mode, and you can easily see how I slide and pan with the app. It's very easy to use. Also, it shows the battery percentage of the phone and the slider. It gives you the option to loop. Pretty much the same as in manual. Change A and B direction, and you can get a preview as well. Very easy to use. My head is not in the frame. That's alright, I'm ugly anyway. As long as you can hear me, that's fine. So if we want to set this on the slider on the tripod, just make sure you have a sturdy tripod. It's safe and sturdy. And the easiest way to do is probably to set the motor a bit, just about 3 fingers I would say from the control unit. That way the center of gravity is about in the middle, and then we just lock it in place. That's it. Put it on the tripod, line the 3x8, and then start spinning. There is a way. This is probably the only inconvenience I found. It's not that easy to do. I mean, you can easily top it over. There is an easier way though, but it's going to cost you more. iFootage does sell the C-Stars Q1, they call it. Quick release plate. It does come with a top plate, but I didn't order one, so I'll have to use it like that. That's it. Then we just mount the ball head. Done. And then the camera. Then we just power the slider. It goes through the calibration process. Place the camera, same like we did on the desks. Place the camera vertically, confirm. And then I just go into quick mode by pressing the 2 buttons simultaneously. I set position A, function. See, now the travel distance is basically double, 40 centimeters. Set B position, confirm, press the function button. Leave the time to 20 seconds, go in standby. Camera goes back into position A. Then my camera was off. I just press record. And press start button. As you can see, it does the 40 centimeter slide within the 20 seconds, just like that. Done. If you want to use the slider vertically, easy enough. You just mount it vertical, and then you might want to use a lighter setup. In this case I'm using a Sony 6100 together with this L bracket, which is heavy enough. So I'll just demonstrate that now. The reason why I didn't want to use the A7 III with the cage on, even though iFootage claims up to 2 kilograms for vertical position, I noticed that the motor struggles. It does struggle to lift the A7 III. That's why we're going to use this camera instead. Here we go. Done. Just set the camera like this. Then we just start the slider, making sure the knob is not locked, the motor is not locked. It goes through the calibration process again. Seems to want to drop, I don't know why. Then it goes back up here. We set position A, say about here, and then position B about here. Now we just confirm it. Stand by. It's going to bring the camera into initial position. We press record and start. That's it, really. It's easy as that. We press stand by and goes back into position A. Start recording. And now for the trick I promised at the beginning of this video. As you can see, I've already mounted the camera onto the gimbal and then the slider. So I don't know if it's obvious. I'll try to turn the 2-axis motor of the slider into a 3-axis movement. And how do we do that? We set on the gimbal, we set a vertical motion while the slider is doing its sliding job. I found the easiest way to do that is to use the app on the gimbal. In this case is the ZY app, I think it's called. Yes, ZY Play. So I'm already connected to the gimbal, and I'll have to set a starting point. Say this would be A, and this would be point B, because we only want a vertical movement. Okay, and for the slider, I'll set this to A. We press function, and this position for B, function, and then confirm. 20 seconds on the slider, and I will leave 20 seconds on the app for the gimbal as well. So we bring the slider into standby mode, and then we bring the gimbal into standby mode, and we just press record on the camera. And then start on the slider, and that's it. As you can see, while the camera is recording, the slider is sliding, doing its sliding thing, and the gimbal is doing the vertical motion. And they both stopped. Back to standby. So that's it. I hope you find this useful. I'm just looking for a way to shoot diagonal slides, and that's the easiest way I could find without spending all that money on Edelkrone sliders, or yeah, they're much more expensive. The 3-axis motors, they're much more expensive. So for my overall thoughts on this slider, I think it's great. It's great for wide landscape shots, for interviews, for tight B-roll shots, and it's great for many reasons. For one, its portability. I mean, I showed you, it's so small, it's such a small form factor, you can easily throw this in your backpack. Number 2, build quality. It's built like a tank. I mean, I wouldn't throw this around, but still, they used quality materials. Number 3, simplicity. It's so easy to use. I mean, you just point the camera in A, press a button, go into position B, press another button. It's as easy as that. Not to mention the app works really well, and I found it connects to the slider immediately. Another thing is the powering options you've got. You just plug USB-C type cable in, and you charge in the battery at the same time. The batteries are relatively cheap, the Sony NPF batteries. Least but not last, the overall great value of this. For its price, I think it's unbeatable, and you can't go wrong with this one. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up, give a like, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.